Hello, and welcome to Allie in Sweatpants. My name is Allie, and I am wearing sweatpants. Excuse this sort of, I don't know, weird lighting, messy video, but we are at the point now where if we don't strike while the iron is hot, while the motivation is here, then apparently videos just won't be happening. So, if you are returning, a very warm welcome back. I have missed you guys so much. And if you are new here, welcome. We have a great community here and I would love for you to join. So yes, it is the mid-January and I still have our Christmas tree up. I refuse to take it down because honestly, the lights make me feel super cozy. So we chase the joy here. I am just going to get right on into this. We have some finished objects, some works in progress, some acquisitions, and then some just sort of like general chit chat that I would like to do. Wow, is my hair insane? Yes. Am I going to fix it? No. That's where we're at. So yeah, let's just get into it. My first finished object, I have more than I'm showing, but I gifted them all for Christmas, so I don't actually have them anymore. And it just feels too overwhelming to try to include everything from the last time I filmed, so we're starting anew here. But over like Christmas and the week between, I made these socks. I feel like the coloring in this video is going to be a bit off because it's nighttime and the only lights that I have on are like LED bulbs. Let me see if I can. LED bulbs. So we're working with what we have and that feels better. So these are just some vanilla socks. They're a bit more red than they're showing up on camera. And I knit these in Legacy Fiber Arts. I think it was their merino cashmere base in the Scott Calvin colorway that my mom got me for Christmas last year, and I thought it was perfect for my, I think it was a Christmas Eve cast on. I started these, or Christmas, but I think it was Christmas Eve. And so these are just my vanilla socks. It was 2.5 millimeter needles, 56 stitches, and I did a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, which is kind of my, that whole recipe is my go-to. So we have this. And then another finished object is this Oslo hat. This is, I think, the softest thing that I own. It is just a delight. So I knit the Oslo hat by Petite Knit. If you've been here before, this should be no surprise. It's like my go-to comfort pattern. But that's annoying. It says I have 17 minutes of memory on my memory card. We're just gonna go until it's full. This is knit with Hedgehog Fibers Oh So Fine Cashmere in the graphite colorway. And I actually got this when we were in Ireland. We stopped by their storefront, so that's pretty cool. And it truly is just like magnificent. I held the yarn double. It's like a light fingering, so I held it double and then I knit the second largest size, which is one size bigger than I would typically knit for myself. But because the yarn is thinner, I thought it would work out, and it did. It is stunning. Let's see here. I have this much left, and I'm really hoping that I can, it does not feel like enough, but maybe I can get some fingerless mitts out of this because this on my hands, otherworldly. So that is my second finished object. And then my last finished object is very exciting. It's a sweater for my boyfriend. And it is his very own Aosta sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. Now, I have knit myself an Aosta sweater with this exact yarn, which is the Knit Picks Shine Worsted. And this is the Wallaby colorway, which is like gray with like slight green undertones. And I did the exact same modifications on his that I did with mine, which is basically just, instead of using a 7mm needle, I used a 6.5mm needle because I knew that this yarn would lend better to that gauge. And I knit a size medium. And the only thing I did differently was there's an update in the pattern where there are short row shaping details, which I didn't do. Excuse me. And then there are recommendations for different sleeve decrease rates. So I followed those from the updated pattern. But other than that, I just sort of knit it to his length, and I might go back for this bottom ribbing and use a smaller needle because it does kind of like flutter out around the bottom, and I just think it would be a bit more flattering if it like cinched in on him a bit. I don't like that look on me. I like it to kind of like either be boxy or a little bit flared out, but for him, I think it would really suit him to have a bit more fitted. But here is it up close. Hello. And he loves it. He hasn't taken it off. I had to fight him for it to film this video because he does not want to take it off. He loves it, which is so nice and so sweet. And it's really nice when you make somebody something and they just like don't want to take it off. It's a top-down raglan design in an all-over knit pearl texture. It's a 4-round repeat and it's really simple. This was one of, if not the first, raglan sweater that I ever did. And I've made this sweater 3 times. I've made the cardigan twice. I'm a big Aosta stan over here. Like we love an Aosta over here. So I highly recommend if you're interested. Beginners and experienced knitters alike. So yes, that's another finished object, and he'll be very happy that I can give it back to him now. So now we are on to, well, I have a half finished object. So this is knit with yarn that was gifted to me by my dear friend Martina over at We Grow Wild. And it is Borgo de Pazzi Bise or Bice, maybe. It's their sock yarn. She gave this to me when I was visiting. And this was my New Year's Eve cast on. So here's my first sock. It's just a beautiful like taupey beige with brown stripes. And I did the same needle size, same stitch count as my other pair of vanilla socks, but I did a German short row heel. And I am well on my way with the second one. I finished the heel, I'm working the foot. And it's lovely. It's so interesting because the stripes don't stripe how typical self-striping yarn would. It kind of spirals down, and the next stripe will meet like just at the beginning or end of the previous stripe. So it's very interesting, but I love how they look. I think they're gonna be just like beautiful neutral socks. So that's a half finished object. And then another thing I'm working on for myself, it's very close to being a finished object. I made my boyfriend a pair of socks with this yarn, which I don't know where the label went. It was in my Europe haul. It was the sock yarn that was like infused with aloe or something. Also, I just realized, sorry if you can hear my heater in the background, but it is so cold in the house. And all we have for heating right now are space heaters. So it's gonna be coming on and off. But with the leftover yarn, I have been knitting myself some mittens. So here they are. I just have to do the thumb. And I think they're so cute. I just followed the Tin Can Knits World's Simplest Mitts pattern, and I followed it on their app, which, oh my gosh, I highly recommend their app. It is so good. Like, For this, you do the decreases, I think 9 times. And on the app, there's like a progress tracker. So you like click the button and it'll take you to the next step and it'll highlight the next step and so on and so forth. But when you do it something that takes like 9 times, it'll say like 2 out of 9, and then you click the button and then it'll update 3 out of 9, click the button 4 out of 9. So it keeps your progress for you. It is so good. But so I'm making these, and I'm actually going to visit my cousin in Chicago early February, and it has been in the negative degrees Fahrenheit, like -3. And so we need to protect ourselves because this body has not felt colder than like 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think it's going to be a shock to the system. So I'm going to prepare any way that I can. But so I have this much left, and all I have left is the thumbs. So next, I have another sweater. And this is going to be part of the acquisitions, but it's from a book. Maybe you can guess from the screen. And it is the Kupla sweater by, I will put it on the screen because I don't want to butcher the name, but it is a stunning sweater in an all over texture that I'm obsessed with. And here is the back panel. I will hold it up. Hopefully you could see that texture. So this I think is going to either be for my boyfriend and or we're gonna share it. But I love all over bubble stitch. I love it. However, I thought this was gonna be knit in the round. It is not. It is knit bottom up. My preferred is top down. It is knit flat. I like in the round, and it is seamed, and I like seamless. So I'm calling this my like knitting bias challenger, where I'm just challenging those biases that I have created for myself. And honestly, I am really enjoying it. So I am making the smallest size, if you can believe it, in this pattern. And I am using Lion Brand Pima Cotton in the vintage colorway and the peppercorn colorway. So the vintage is that's the inside. So the vintage is this like creamy beigey white down here, and the peppercorn is the main body. So I have finished the back panel, and just yesterday, or maybe the day before, I started the front panel. There's not much. We've only done a few rounds of the bubble, but I'm kind of enjoying it. It feels very like old school knitting, like knitting flat. It feels like the first couple sweaters I ever knit were flat and then seamed. So I don't know, it just feels kind of good. And I'm enjoying it. I'm knitting it on the recommended needles. I think technically the yarn I'm using is a bit thicker than the recommended yarn, but it's working out really, really well. And just this back panel is like 450 grams of yarn. So it is going to be a thick and warm sweater, I think, which is going to be really nice. So I'm working on that. And then my last, I believe, oh no, I have one more. My second to last work in progress is this cardigan that I have been working on for myself, which, I mean, honestly is going to look like a big fluffy mess anyway. I have one sleeve done. I'm currently working on the second sleeve, and I only have, okay, I'm stressed, right? I have 2 balls left. They're 50 grams each. This is what I have left of this ball. This is how far I've come on this sleeve. And then I still have the neck ribbing, the button band, and this is how much I have of the body. So that's really what's been stopping me from working on this project, because I'm so stressed about the yarn because I'm like 98% positive that I don't have enough, and that really stresses me out because I think getting more will be expensive because, where'd I put the label? The yarn is, I just had the label. Okay. The yarn is Inca spun, natural color, not dyed, 100% alpaca fleece that I got at Campomi Filati in Florence. And this is the 403 colorway. Let me try to hold it up for you. Here's the ball band. It doesn't have meterage. It doesn't have, it has the recommended needles, but it just says 6 to 8. Does that mean millimeter? Does that mean, like, what does that mean? I don't know. But Martina and I came to, oh, I have one more finished object actually that I need to show you. Martina and I came to the conclusion that it's like basically a DK weight. Anyways, the cardigan that I'm making, again, I'm using the Tin Can Knits app, is the, sorry, I'm just trying to find the name of the cardigan. The Classic Cardigan by Tin Can Knits, and I am making the medium large size in the DK weight. So the cool thing about this app is they have patterns, tons, like 11 I think, patterns, and you get to choose the size that you want to make in the weight of yarn that you want to make. It's, I highly recommend it. It's a free app. It's great. But so that's what I'm making with this. And the other finished object I forgot to show is, one moment, there we go, is my, we're caught, is my vest that I made with Martina. So here it is. Now, we had the same issue with this project where it is just cropped. This is the Stockholm Slipover by Petite Knit in the same yarn, but in this undyed, beautiful brown colorway. But everyone in our knitting group chat, which is Martina's Patreon group chat, is saying that alpaca grows a lot in length. So I'm not gonna panic until I wash and block this, because actually now just kind of pulling on it, it feels like it will meet the top of my jeans. But I think I knit the 3rd size for this. And if you think about it, right, I had half the amount of yarn for this that I have for this, and this is a cardigan. I don't know. So basically my plan with the cardigan is I'm going to finish the sleeve. I think I'm going to try to do like the top neck ribbing. I really don't know. Like, I have no idea. Maybe I don't know. Any suggestions? Because I do want it to be like a classic cardigan. Martina gave me the most beautiful epoxy buttons that she made, and I really wanted to put them on this cardigan, so I wanted a button band. So maybe I'll do a button band, but like a really thin I-cord around the neck. I don't know, but I'm so stressed. I'm stressed it's gonna be like a super cropped cardigan. I don't know. But anyway, yes, this is also finished. So I'm gonna have 2 beautiful garments made out of this beautiful alpaca yarn. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. Had to clear up some storage. So, oh, one more. Can you tell I've been out of practice? I have another work in progress. I haven't been working on it too much just because there was Christmas knitting, and then I was out of town, and then I've been like monogamously knitting on this bubble sweater. I'm just loving it, but these are gonna be so useful because it has been so cold in our house. These are the Sunday socks by Petite Knit in veganYarn.com's new worsted base, which is super exciting. So this is like a true brick red in real life, and this is the same yarn as their sock yarn, except it's worsted, which is so exciting. I was so excited when they brought this out, and I actually asked if they wanted to kind of work together regarding this yarn. So I was given a very generous discount to be able to purchase this yarn, and that is so exciting to me because I was gonna get it anyway and talk about it, but now it's like a little partnership. And I do have also an affiliate link with them and a discount code, which is Allie and Sweatpants, and you can get some money off of your order if you want to purchase through them. But yes, I have been knitting myself some thick worsted weight Sunday socks, which is so exciting. I think they're gonna be really warm. I have this beautiful brick red color. I have a nice like mustard yellow, and then like a cypress green. I showed them all at the end of my European yarn haul. Stunning. So yes, I'm really excited to keep working on these so I can have some nice toasty worsted weight socks. On to acquisitions. I had something that I really wanted to show, and now the couch is oh, there it is. Okay, the first thing that I want to show, I actually meant to show at the end of my Europe yarn haul, and I completely forgot because I had it behind the camera. But it's this beautiful tape measure that Martina bought me when we were in Italy. It's handmade with olive wood. There's a little town kind of close to them that there's a shop where the whole store is handmade olive wood items. And there were so many beautiful things that I wish I could have bought, but I had no space in my luggage left, except she bought me this, and I look at it all the time and I love it, and it sits right on top of my yarn cabinet, and it just deserved a moment to shine because it is so beautiful. And thank you again, Martina. I love it. So my mom and I bought the Legacy Fiber Arts 4 Sundays of Advent, or I don't know what it was called, but it was basically you get 4 of their micro sock sets for each Sunday in December. And so we both got that, and I can't remember exactly what order. I think it was like this. But so I'm going to show them. I'm sure everyone who's gotten it has opened it, but I'm going to show the ones I got. So this is Twinkle's Tea House. Which is so pretty. My mom is actually knitting these, or was knitting them, and they're very Easter, so. This one is Gingerbread Inn. This one, which actually we each got 2 of because they accidentally sent us our boxes, and both of our boxes had 2 week 3s and no week 4. And so I messaged them and I was like, hey, can I send you back these duplicates in case you need them for any other boxes, and you know, switch them out for week 4s. And they're the best. Chelsea and Sue are seriously, I wish I was friends with them because they are just the loveliest ladies, and they were like, we are so sorry, no need to send it back, enjoy the extra skein, like we'll get yours out to you right away. So I've actually knit a sock set in these. It's Stringlights Repair Shop, and I love them. This guy is sparkly. It's got silver sparkles in it, which I've never had a Stellina yarn before, and I always thought that I was kind of against it. I was like, I'm not a sparkly glittery gal, but I love it. And then the last week was Penguin Parade, and I love this one. It's so cute. So I technically got these over Christmas because we signed up for their Advent. And then my aunt sent me these. She lives in Northern California, and they're by Serendip Die Works, Coastside Fingering / Sock, and it's 100% superwash merino wool. they say? This one is Ravens and Roses. Which is beautiful. And this one is Hopscotch, which is also beautiful. And she picked these up for me at like a local festival that was happening in her town, which just makes them feel so special. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them yet. They would make beautiful hats, but they could also make a really cool shawl. I don't know. So I'm really excited. And then my mom got me my first ever project bag, which is so exciting. Look at how cute. I love this one with the, let's see, with the water bowl right there. I think that's my favorite. And it is from Zoe Designs Ltd. Maybe on Etsy, I don't know. But it's just a really cute, it definitely can fit more than a sock project, I think. It could probably fit like a hat, socks, mittens. I don't know if it could fit a sweater. It might be able to fit my cardigan actually, but thank you again, Mom. And then the last two things I have to share. My mom also got me the Knitting for Olive knitting book in English. Now, this is a stunning knitting book. The only downside is not all the patterns are size inclusive, which is heartbreaking because they are really limiting their accessibility, because by not having everything be size inclusive, so many people just like won't find it useful, which is a shame. It's a shame for all parties involved. So that is a bummer, but it is beautiful. And I think I know, I mean, there's lots of patterns that I want to make from it, but I think the one that I have my eye on first, if I can find it. I think the one that I really have my eye on is this wrap top. I think it is so beautiful. It's called the Darling Wrap. Let me see. I think it is so pretty. So that's, I think, the first pattern on my radar from this book. And it is just so beautiful. I also really want to knit the pattern on the cover. I actually, when they announced this book a couple years ago, I refrained from buying most of the patterns that Ravelry said was in the book because I knew I would want the book. So it's pretty exciting. Thank you again, Mom. And then last, but certainly not least, my boyfriend's brother and his girlfriend, who I call my sister-in-law, got me this book, which I have been wanting since I saw it when I went to Portland. And I kept telling my boyfriend, we saw it again in Europe, and I was like, take a picture, that is what I want for Christmas, that is what I want. And then we opened our gifts and he didn't get it for me, and I was really bummed. And I was like, you never listen to me, you never listen to what I say. Like, I was just being a brat. Like, it was really embarrassing to think back on. I don't even want to include this in the video, but I will because it's just true. It did happen. And then the next day, we exchanged gifts with his family, and I got this from his brother, and he was like, see, I told you you were gonna get it. I told you Christmas wasn't over. And I felt even more like a brat, and so, but I got it, and it is so beautiful. It is so worth it, in my opinion. It makes me want, they just announced their like accessories book, and it makes me just want all the books, even though I know that like I'm not gonna make 52 shawls or 52 socks, or I don't know. But so this is the photo of the sweater I'm currently making. And it's just like, I truly want to knit most patterns from this book, and they are all size inclusive, which is incredible. And I just think there is something for everyone in here. Being that it's for easy knits, I will say probably half the patterns are knit on needles bigger than I would typically knit with, but I don't care. I love it. And this book is helping me break my knitting biases. Biases? You know what I'm saying. So maybe I'll knit some like chunky patterns that I would like never typically think to do. Who knows? We'll see. But that is all for the knitting today. Other than knitting, I have just been spending time with my loved ones. We were gone for a while because we had a pretty rough mental health month in December, which is a bummer because I was really looking forward to Christmas and the Christmas time and the holiday season. I also just realized I have been looking at myself in the viewfinder this entire episode and not in the lens, and I apologize if that has bothered anybody. But so yes, we had a pretty rough mental December. We had some extra therapy sessions and you know, I'm coming out of it. It's not resolved, it's not gone, it's not fixed, but it's better, and that is good enough for me right now. So I have missed you guys so much. I've been wanting to come back sooner than I have, and it's just, this is when it happened. So I hope to be back more regularly. I have been reading a ton, which I'm not a huge reader, but I am in a huge reading era right now, and I'm watching tons of BookTube, and like I'm on my 5th book this month. Well, one was a novella, but I'm on my 5th book this month, which last year I think I read like 8 books total, so feeling really good. Have been considering maybe doing like a monthly wrap-up of the books that I read, if that is something that would interest you guys. I'm really into books right now and talking about the books that I'm reading, and I would love to talk about them with you guys if that's something you're interested in. So yes, that is all for now. I'm happy to be back. I would love to know what you guys are doing, what you've been up to, how your holidays were, how your New Year's going, what project you might be working on, and I just hope you're all well. So I will be back when I have more to talk about. Bye!